What is up, guys? I'm giving you a review on this e-bike. This is basically the Nakto Mini Cruiser Fat Tire electric bike. I believe that is the exact name of this particular model. And it's in the grass right now because I was trying to do this same video, but I was in the sun and it was it's extremely hot today. So it's in the high 90s. So the picture quality was difficult. You couldn't even see some of the stuff that I was trying to show you. But anyway, we started over and we're in the grass now, okay? So I'm just gonna show you these features. And a lot of the features I'm showing you are basically generalized from a lot of e-bikes. A lot of e-bikes have similar features, but anyway. See, this one has your fat tires. Like I told you, a lot of e-bikes don't even have a fat tire. They have regular like bicycle tires. Some have thin tires. This one is the fat tire model. Of course, there's thin tire models on the market too, a lot of them. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about this. If you're thinking about getting an e-bike, okay? So, as you can see, you have this here. As I just almost knocked the bike over, basically. This right here is your gears. Okay, this right here is more relevant for pedaling if you're not using the electric feature. So basically, with an e-bike, you can still ride the bike without turning the bike on. You know, you have your key here, it's in the off position. This bike is turned off. If I take the key out, you can still ride the bike as you would ride a regular bicycle. However, the pedaling on this model with the fat tires, I guess, it's very tough to pedal. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the pedaling, even if you have it in the 6th gear. Okay, I don't really ride it without the electricity. It's kind of meaningless, but you still can. It's just harder to ride, especially up hills. It's very difficult. But anyway, so let's talk about this bike. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the features of it, and I'm gonna give you my review on this particular model, as well as just talking about riding an e-bike in general. Okay, so if you want to get the Nakto, if you want to get this exact model, this is a perfect video for you. But this is also a good video for people who want to just talk about e-bikes in general. If you already have an e-bike and you want to understand it better, or if you're thinking about getting an e-bike, this would be a good video for you. And of course, like I said, this is the fat tire model. Again, let's talk about this here. So we're gonna turn the bike on. I'm gonna show you generally how to ride this thing, okay? So here you have this is like your screen, right? So you're gonna turn the bike in the on position right here, okay? So it's in the on position, okay? So now right here, I'm gonna press power. And as you can see, I don't know if every e-bike has the same features, but this is blurry. But it basically has 203 miles on it. Let's see, wow, that's very blurry. So it's hard to see that, but it has 203.1 miles on it. It shows that here. Okay, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but right above the mileage, let's see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, there we go. That's a perfect view right there. You see that one with like the half circle over it? That's what gear I'm in. And then you have the mileage, which is 203 miles. I have 203 miles on this bike already. And that's your miles per hour. And then your battery level, you can see that all on here. Now, if you look down here, let's see, let's zoom in. This stuff right here, you see the plus sign? You're gonna press that. That's gonna shift it up to a higher gear. Now, I always ride in 5th gear, so I have to press it 4 times to get into 5th gear. And then this is how you turn down the gear. That's how you turn up the gear. And this is obviously turning on or off the bike. Okay, so let's go back to the screen here. Now you can see it's a number 5. What's the difference? The difference is obvious. The bike goes faster the higher the gears when you pedal the bike, okay? So you don't have to pedal the bike, okay? you can use your throttle. The throttle is right here, okay? I'm not gonna pull down. You pull down on this throttle. Instead of pedaling, you can pull down on the throttle to make the bike take off. Or you could just simply pedal and it'll take off. I'm not gonna hit that lever because this bike will take off, okay? It will take off pretty good and it'll, you know. But anyway, so you have a throttle. Sometimes I throttle, sometimes I pedal. Because when you pedal, even when you shift up on the gear, that's gonna make a difference on the speed. This thing can go, it goes about 25, but it can go up to about 28 sometimes. If you, basically if you throttle it and hold down the throttle while you're in the 5th gear for a decent amount of time, and then you start pedaling right after you let off the throttle, it can go faster than 25. And of course, if you go down hills, you're gonna go even faster than that. A lot faster than that, okay? In the 30s. I don't know about 40s. I think that gets real dangerous. If you take this type of bicycle and you go that fast, I think it gets pretty dangerous. It's not really stable. I don't think you're supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure you're not. But anyway, that's basic stuff you need to know about the e-bike. Now here's another thing you should know. How you turn the headlight on, because like I said, it has a headlight, okay? Now a lot of e-bikes, even different brands, they work the same way. So I can hold this right here, the plus, just hold it, and then let my finger off of it. And as you can see, the headlight is on, okay? So I'm gonna turn it back in the off, turn the bike off again. I actually have had this bike turned on one time and it was in the house and it started moving. But, I turned it back off. And then I'm gonna turn it right back on. Turn it in the on position again. And this thing has a horn also. You can see it, it's easy to see. Right here, there's the horn. Sounds like this. Sounds like that. It's a decent. Now this is the Nakto Mini Cruiser version. It's not a very big bike, okay? Now, obviously you can adjust your seat just like any other bike. You adjust your seat like this, pull this back, and lift up, lift down. And now if you're not careful and you don't tighten this side right here, the seat is gonna be going up and down, follow. This bike is better for a shorter person, male or female. I would say 5'10" and under. This is an okay bike for you. If you're like 6 feet tall, you can still ride this bike, but it's not a good bike for you. If you're that tall, you don't wanna get the Mini Cruiser. I would suggest you not get this if you're a 6-footer. Even 5'10", you could definitely ride this at 5'10" for sure. You'll be fine. But 6 foot and up, I would say this is not a good bike for you. However, you definitely can still ride it, okay? It just, if you were talking about owning a bike and you're 6 foot or over, I would say this is definitely not the bike for you. You don't want to get any mini versions of the bike. I'm gonna do other videos where I'm actually riding the bike, just giving you some factors on, different things about the bike. And here's your charger right here. You're gonna lift up and plug this into a cord that comes with it. You charge that into the outlet. That's how that works. And it doesn't take long for a full charge. Now, this bike here, as you can see, I have a full battery. That full battery is not gonna get you extremely far. I think it said 20 miles or so. I don't know. It's not gonna last that long though. It starts, I usually stop riding it when I have like 2 dots left. I won't go past that. Because if this thing goes dead on you and you have to pedal, oh my goodness. It's, like I said, it's hard to pedal this thing. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of exercise. And if you're far from your destination and you gotta ride this thing, man, you're gonna really tire yourself out, especially if you got hills and stuff. This thing goes up hills pretty well. Like I said, I usually only ride on the 5th gear. Now, if you just got this and you never rode an e-bike before, you definitely want to start off on that 1st gear. Number 1, start off with that. Get used to riding it, because when you start pedaling this thing, it pretty much takes off pretty good. Like right when you put your foot on the pedal and pull down just a little bit, it's gonna move really well, okay? This thing doesn't really do a lot of hesitating. It definitely moves, okay? When I first got it, I didn't know how to shift the gear, and I said, this bike is slow, because it was on the 1st gear. I was looking at this. This is the first e-bike I've ever had. Anyway, this is this video. Leave a comment if you have any questions about e-bikes in general, or this particular model specifically. If you're thinking about getting an e-bike, we can have this conversation, and I will definitely read all the comments and answer questions.